there too, Ricardo.
Good evening, everyone. Today is July the 28th, 2020. And the time is now 6:05 p.m. Apologize for running a few minutes late, but as you all know, for tuning in the past, sometimes us older folks have a little tough time with this technology, and we eventually get it together. And I'm glad that you're here joining us tonight. Tonight's going to be a pretty short meeting. We have basically one issue to address as a board, and on that issue, you'll see in a few minutes, the board needs to go into executive session or in a confidential session with our attorney to discuss something. We will be coming out of executive session and voting on that particular subject. But before we do all that, it's important first that we listen to the members of this community. So as in any meeting, we always set aside time to listen to folks. We have one speaker today, and that is Rebecca Hetherington. And so I'll leave it to our able clerk to introduce Heather.
Okay, Rebecca, you have been added to the meeting and connected to audio and video. You have 3 minutes. Oh, you're muted. Hold on one second, Rebecca. It looks like you're still muted.
Sorry. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today. My name is Rebecca Hetherington, and I'm the mom of 2 students at 53 School. I wanted to take this opportunity to encourage the district to focus on remote learning beginning this fall, temporarily abandon the idea of a hybrid or full return model for the start of the school year, and discuss childcare as a separate issue. Due to the current budget issues, which would make staffing in a safe, manageable way impossible, from cleaning classrooms to acquiring substitutes, outfitting classrooms properly with proper PPE to keep everyone safe, in purchasing and stocking hand sanitizer and other things that have been on parent supply lists each year, as well as the RTA and district's policy of the last in, first out, which creates a large number of older teachers and professionals district-wide who are the most susceptible to the virus. Unless the district has been given $1 billion, I don't mean that in a silly way at all, it's unclear as to how this would be paid for. Last school year, hundreds of teachers and other professionals lost their jobs and were transferred to other positions in the middle of the school year. And it gave a window into what it looks like when kids lose their teachers unexpectedly. And I don't really understand how a district that went through that could even consider sending students back to classrooms with the likelihood of traumatizing students over and over again. Many of our students live with or have older people as caregivers, and the risk of becoming super spreaders is very real. There is still time to refocus and move energy to getting teachers trained in distance education and finding a way to get every student the technology they need to succeed in school, create a citywide education-only hotspot that blocks non-educational sources, but provides every child and their parents with their parents and families with the availability of the internet. Childcare is a completely separate conversation, and I'm disappointed that New York State requested these 3 models, because when this reopening in phases had such a positive effect on the state as a whole. Childcare will need to be a conversation regardless of which model is adopted, but with the massive shortage of childcare options in the city, this would need to be something that the city, the district, and parents work together to best support every student and family across the district. I thank you for your time and your consideration.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Hetherington. We really do appreciate your time and the consideration and thoughtfulness that you've given to this subject. I know obviously it's very important to you as you have children in our district. And it's very important to every board member that you have entrusted your children to our care. This will be a difficult decision to make, but the superintendent has given it much thought and consideration. And I know she is on with us tonight in the Zoom meeting room. Leslie, you're going to report to the full board. You're going to discuss with the full board how you anticipate opening up schools come September, and that's Thursday, right?
Correct, given the current parameters that we've been sent, yes. Mhm.
So I would encourage Heather and other parents who we take it with great seriousness that you have entrusted your children to our care. This is going to be a difficult decision, how we exercise that care and diligence. Anyone who is interested, and I know there has to be thousands of people who would have to be interested, I would encourage you, my colleagues would encourage you to tune in Thursday. Kalia, what are we meeting at 6 o'clock on Thursday?
Correct, 6 o'clock on Thursday.
6 o'clock on Thursday, and see what your superintendent has recommended in light of the numerous challenges that all families and staff face with COVID. So again, please tune in Thursday at 6 o'clock, and my colleagues and I will be deliberating and listening to our superintendent in terms of what she plans what the new year will look like. All right, there is, as I indicated, there's just one other item on the agenda that my colleagues have asked that I put on the agenda today, and that is a confidential conversation with our lawyer. Again, it bears worth repeating so that everybody understands why we do this. We generally, most of the time, are very transparent. The law, in fact, requires it. They're called sunshine laws. But some instances, the law does not require it, and some instances require that we speak confidentially with our attorney. This is one of those sessions. We have to speak to our lawyer about a matter that relates to a contract or an agreement. And so we have to do that privately and confidentially, as it also relates to negotiation. So if you'd like, you can stay on this particular channel, however you're watching. We will come out of executive session, and I anticipate we probably will be acting on the confidential advice that our lawyer gave us. So we're not even going to call for a motion to go into executive session. Again, the law allows us to speak confidentially, as it does for you if you had an attorney. We're going to do that right now, and if you're interested, I don't know how long it will be, but my colleagues and I will come back out of that conversation and probably vote on a subject that you'll better understand once we come out of this conversation with our lawyer. All right, Tom. 2020. The time is now 6:29, and we're back in open session. We just had a conversation with our lawyer about a matter that needed to be talked about in private. And now we have a resolution, which the board, as we always do, is going to vote on in open session. I need a motion to discuss resolution number 83.
Motion.
I heard Commissioner
Motion.
Malloy. I heard second. I heard Commissioner LeBron.
I'll second it. Yep.
Yep, I heard Commissioner LeBron. So that motion, that resolution is now properly before the Board of Education. Are there any questions or comments regarding resolution number 83? Let me put on my participant thing. I don't see any, so let's go ahead and take a vote. Will all board members please turn on your video monitor so that our clerk can record your vote? All those in favor of resolution number 83 indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Seems like the ayes have it, Madam Clerk. The record will reflect that. And all I need now, ladies and gentlemen, is a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I heard a couple people say that. I heard, I see Commissioner Adams move, and I heard Commissioner LeBron second it. So all those in favor of adjourning and indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I guess not. Listen, for everybody else, we will be back in session on Thursday. Ms. Wade, at 6 o'clock, is that right?
At 6 o'clock.
And as always, you are encouraged to send in your comments, written comments, or get yourself a space in our waiting room on Skype. And so long as you sign up by 12:30 noon on Thursday, you can do that. Good night, everybody.
12 o'clock noon.
12 o'clock noon. Good night, everybody.
To sign
That's
up.
for people to sign up to speak. That's just for people to sign up to speak.
Good night, everyone.
Okay.
Thank you very much.